Well, it wouldn't be a VRC conversation series without our honorary Australian based in Newmarket. We love him to death. Charlie Fellows, the trainer of the great Prince of Arran, has been good enough to join us. Charlie, how are you, mate?
I'm very good, Richo. How are you?
As a young rooster striding into the front gates at Leeds University, was that always the plan, to be a horse trainer?
I got offered a job by Godolphin, by Sheikh Mohammed, when I was 18, before I went to university. I'd already had a university place. And I went back home and spoke to my parents. And my dad said, look, please go to university, get a degree. Racing will be there at the end of it. And to this day, it is the single best piece of advice I've ever had, because I went to uni, I had a great time, met my wife, and got a degree, and actually not a bad degree either, considering I was watching racing most of the time, and had a really good time as well. So it was a great call. And then after that, I moved down to your wonderful country.
I know you did. And you actually, first, to get back to the degree, you said you got a good degree. What did you get, a diploma in?
I got, you won't believe, in philosophy, unbelievably. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know. Don't ask. I wanted to do English, but I didn't have a good enough grades from school to get into English at one of the nice universities. So I decided to do philosophy, and I actually quite enjoyed it. It was interesting, and I got a 2-1, which is sort of, the top is the first, and then you go 2-1, 2-2, third. So I did all right. I got 2-1, which is and my wife was doing the same. My wife was doing the same degree as me. We met at uni at Leeds doing philosophy, and she got a 2-2. So I reminded that the whole time.
Mate, take everyone through your very first trip down to try to win the great race, the Lexus Melbourne Cup.
Like, we came down there knowing that we weren't in the race. So, yeah, it was we were doing something, we'd never done before. I'd obviously followed Australian racing, and but still trying to plan your route in was not easy, working out where you wanted to go. And we decided to go for the Herbert Power because it was pretty much the first Saturday we could get a run into him and just feel our way. And we knew that all we had to do was win one race. That was all we had to do. And so we went for the Herbert Power. He finished second, or no, third. Was it third first time in the Herbert Power?
Yucatan, yeah.
Yeah, behind Yucatan, and he just got a bit unlucky. He got stuck on the rail when Yucatan went round the outside, and we wouldn't have beaten him, but we probably would have been second with a clear run. But it was a really good run, and then we had all these options, and I had it in the back of my head that Flemington was his track. That of all the tracks, Flemington was the fairest, and that we'd rely on the least amount of luck. And so I passed up the opportunity to run in the Caulfield Cup, and we passed up the opportunity to go to like the Moonee Valley for the Moonee Valley Gold Cup. And I said, look, this is the race. The Lexus is the race. We're winning, you're in. I think he can do the quick backup, but I know that Flemington is the right track for him. And the rest, as they say, is history. And he had the perfect build up. We went into Flemington in top form, and he won nicely to book his place in the Melbourne Cup. And to be honest, I still say that day and that night was, I think, that even above. I can't believe I'm saying this, but even above Royal Ascot winning last year, it was the whole combination of sort of a year's work trying to get into the Melbourne Cup. It all coming down to a race 3 days before. Like, we'd done everything to try and qualify and get up the order of entry, and it all came down to that race 3 days before. And it was no second or third were not good enough. Like, you had to win, and that was it. And to go and win it and book our place was great fun. And that night was one of the funniest nights I've had in a long time.
But God love, he ran unbelievably well. He was defeated by a couple of serious horses. We know that. Cross Counter, Marmello. So England went 1, 2, 3. He ran so amazingly well.
A Prince of Arran at the 200. Marmello wearing it down. Marmello gets up on the inside, and here comes Cross Counter. Cross Counter coming at Marmello. Cross Counter's flying. The Blue Army have done it at last. Cross Counter has won the Melbourne Cup from Marmello, a Prince of Arran.
Who would have thought, when he hit the line there, did you even think, gee, I tell you what, he might even go closer the following year?
So the weird thing is that I actually got more excited when we finished third than when he only got beaten ahead. Because if you watch the two races, I've got when he finished second last year, at no point did I feel like he was going to win it. I didn't think. I always felt we were held by the horse on the inside, and even though we were close, I just never thought he was getting up. Whereas the year before, you watch the race, he cruises into it, and I genuinely, there was a point I can remember about a furlong out where I thought, Jesus, I'm about to win the Melbourne Cup. Like, it really went through my head. I remember it so well. Yeah. And then you see Cross Counter flying down the outside of Marmello on the inside, and we were beaten further than we were last year. But just if you watch the two races, I felt like there was a point in the first race where I felt like we were going to win, whereas I just always felt we were held last year. If only the horse had swerved half a furlong earlier, and we would have won the race last year. That's the ironic thing, because he would have taken out Vow and Declare as well, and we would have won. I mean, look, we would have won fortuitously, but I still would have taken it.
Oh, damn straight.
Yeah.
What's forgotten is Michael Walker standing up in the irons, though. He looked like he was celebrating like he'd won.
So I've never asked him this. But I don't think I think that was more. I think he was gutted. I don't think that was a celebration. I don't know if maybe he's commented on it since, but I'm not convinced he was celebrating. I think he was devastated because he thought he had it won and he knew he was beat.
I think you're right.
He was so confident going into the race. He's like, I know we're going to go really close, and I have a feeling that standing up was actually more just disappointment that he'd come so close and not won than actually. In celebration. I don't think he thought he'd won. I might be wrong.
It's a unique group, isn't it? You've got this super tough stayer with the young trainer that the Australians absolutely love. You've got Tash, who seems like that Aaron won't do anything without her there. And then you've got this whiz kid from New Zealand, the Cuzzy Bro and Michael Walker. It's a very unique little four.
It's I think that's what makes this sport so amazing, and that's why people love horse racing. It's for stories like this, and the little guys taking on the big guys, and your Godolphins and your Coolmores and your trainers with 250 horses, and that's what is so special about the sport that we work in. And, there's so many silly little subplots with this story. As you say, a young trainer who spent a lot of time in Australia and has dreamt of winning a Melbourne Cup. You've got Cuzzy Bro, who is a real character and just has this love affair with this horse that he just rides just so beautifully and just gets a tune out of like very few other people have managed to do. And obviously Tash, who is completely besotted with the horse. I really, really, really hope he will race without her, because I think I can tell you now she's not, if we're allowed to come this year, she's not going to be coming with him, sadly.
Why?
It's not sadly, it's good news. She actually, I think I can tell you, I hope I can tell you, she's pregnant. So she's expecting a baby, so she will not be coming down to Australia this year. With him. So I really, really hope he doesn't sulk, and I really, really hope that that he does decide to put his best foot forward without her.
So have you started to think about how you can do that now? There's no doubt that Prince can come. It's probably scarily doubtful that you can come, or whether any of your staff can come. Have you started to think about it?
Look, yes, obviously I've thought about it long and hard. I think it would, like, we've got to do. He's got to come to Australia, really. Like, I can't. It would be a disservice to his owners to not come down, if we can't get him down. And if I can't send a lad with him, then so be it. I really hope I can. I really hope we are able to do that, and I know that they're working unbelievably hard behind the scenes to try and allow that to happen. But if that can't happen, then I'm very lucky. I have some very good friends in Australia. David Eustace, Matt Kamani, guys like that, who I'm sure would chop off their right arm to have him in their yard for a couple of months, and prepare him for a Melbourne Cup, hopefully under my direction, and do it that way. And it'll be. He loves it so much down there, and I'm just simply, I cannot have the Australian trainers having it so easy. I'm just not. They're not. Not happening. So I don't care how much they try and say they don't want the Europeans down there this year, and that it would be great for the Cup. We're coming down, so you better have your horses on top form.
I'm applying for my trainer's license tomorrow.
Good. Yeah, you've got the job. You've got the job, Richo. Although we worried about how much you'd listen to me. I think you might go off and do your own thing.
Not at all. I wouldn't. I would listen intently. Hey, tell me quickly, Bedford House, settled in team. I mean, that's a huge investment, but you're getting the rewards for it.
Yeah, it was a big risk. It was a big call last year. There was a bit of pressure. I try not to feel too much pressure. But this was a big move, and I think a lot of people's eyebrows were raised when we went in there, because there's 120 boxes here, and we had about 60 horses, and it's one of the most prestigious yards in the country. Luca Kamani trained countless Group 1 winners and Derby winners out of it, and so I think there would be a lot of people who looked and said, "Well, what's this guy doing going into a yard like that? Is he? He not sure he quite deserves a move like that yet." And I think we've done a pretty good job of silencing a few of those doubters. I'm sure there's still a few out there, but 3 Royal Ascot's winners since we moved, second in the Melbourne Cup, and pretty decent prize money haul, both at home and globally, has done us no harm. So I think things are going well, but this is the most ludicrous sport, and it only takes you to take your foot off the throttle for a month, or for a couple of runners, and people are there saying, "Oh God, he can't train, he's lost it." And so it's literally, you are as good as your last runner. That is as good as you are. There is no let up. There is no let up. So we just got to keep on going, keep on trying to do the best we can with the horses, and as long as we do that, then we'll be fine.
We love what you've done in Australia. It won't be the same without you. We need Prince here. Won't be the same without Tash. We need to find a way that we can get COVID free and get you back here.
Look, I really hope I'm able to come down, and I really hope the horse is able to come down. We're just, we're keeping our fingers crossed. He's out in a paddock at the moment, having a little holiday. I'm training him as if we're coming to Australia, and until we're told that we can't, we'll plan as if we're coming down. So fingers crossed we're able to come.
Bring it on, mate. Can't wait to see you. There you go. I'm confident you're going to be here.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me on. Take care.
Great to see you, buddy.